So one day I was playing Tableturf Battle against the Jelly, and when I got home, I was chilling as usual, watching YouTube. In one of ProChar's videos, this part caught my attention.
Dude, someone needs to do a Tableturf cards tier list. I want a tier list of all 150 cards. Someone gotta be grinding this game for the past month. Someone who's grinded this, make me a tier list. I wanna see.
Well, my friend, I have one thing to say.
Challenge accepted.
Well, here it is, my turf table, the tape turf, or possibly the thing, and no, wait, no, it was supposed to be table turf. Oh no, I pulled a ProChar!
Competitive turf table back, the thing.
My Tableturf battle card tier list in my own opinion and perspective. Now, a few things in mind. We started off with separate categories, and these categories include weapons that are main, subs, special, as well as some Salmonoid bosses from Salmon Run, all the Octarians in Hero Mode, the ranked modes, and lastly characters. These cards all represent a weapon, character mode, and etc. You get the idea. It's just like the spirits from Smash, but only from the Splatoon series. And not gonna lie, it really does look cool to see each card being the closest to what it looks like in card form. And each card consists of special attacks that can be used throughout the game, and naturally, we're gonna be talking about every single card from each category. If we were to talk about it by number, it would be confusing. Now, if you would say, "What? That card is shit. Why would you use that?" Or even, "Bruh, why do you hate this card so bad?" Well, don't even think about it. Not all of them are bad, as well as most of them being good. So your thoughts are your own. When people first got their packs from Alterna and elsewhere, some people got the best ones and others... not so much. So with all that out of the way, let's talk about every single card. So first up, main weapon cards. These cards are your main ones, and believe me, they're what you expect. Game changers. As mentioned before, and others apply as well, each weapon card will be presentable with whatever card it shows. For example, a card that takes 9 points to form a roller, so pick whichever you like, but save some room for the small ones. They help you do special attacks on average and seem to be the basis of your deck. Picking the right main weapon cards will lead you to victory. So with that information out of the way, let's start with number 1, Hero Shot. The Hero Shot card is a pretty OP card to say the least. It's a great card to have in your balanced decks, but clearly adding 3 spaces from the bottom of it can get you those points really early. A tier, because of the card being one of the best mid-game. Number 2, Splattershot. To my standards, it's an okay card to say the least. Naturally, it's what I would expect to think about with this. Good for some maps, but pretty bad on Double Gemini. B tier, and it's okay. Number 3, Splattershot Jr. Now this card is what you expect, an L-shaped Tetris piece. While small, this is great for tight spaces to add, and if you played Tetris before, then this is for you to use. A tier, but only if you have played Tetris before. Number 4, Splattershot. Just like its cousin, the Splattershot, still a decent card to play, but it's a bit small, so that counts. B tier, but better than Sploosh. Number 5, Aerospray MG. This is an alright card because it's good to place it for defense while turfing around the battlefield. B tier for effort. Number 6, Splattershot. The classic Splattershot, as this is by far a good enough card. Naturally alright in the Main Street map. B tier for balancing. Number 7, the 52 Gal. Lucky number 7. Man, this card is a good card, but sometimes it can sting if it's played in the Thunder Point map. Although if played during mid-game in Thunder Point, it could be a good card to fight against other cards, but nonetheless could sacrifice a lot of room. Likewise, B tier. Number 8, NZAP 85. Splattershot Jr, but with an extra space to add. Think of this one as a Pinterest piece to place. Same as Splattershot Jr, A tier, enough said. Number 9, Splattershot Pro. This card really changes the game and such, as it really uses the special weapon, if the person had played their cards right. But, however, it's a really almost good map to place through when you need to block on certain maps. So if you were to play this card, I'd say use it for, well, blocking most likely in square, as it's an alright long enough card than the Splattershot, which we'll go through in a while. But overall, A tier for that best map it should play on. Number 10, the 96 Gal. Like the 52 Gal, but upgraded. This card is a good card to have in your balanced deck, and yet it is good enough as it is. Just like 52 Gal, you might want to play it similarly. Good enough card, A tier. Number 11, Jet Sculpture. Usually not great in most maps, but can maybe beat some cards whenever you play offense in the middle. But for defense-wise and or farming special points, it's a little meh. But most likely for defense. Average C tier. Number 12, Luna Blaster. Okay, this one may be the worst in my own opinion, but sometimes good on defense and probs worse on both farming and performing a bit well in certain maps. This one gets a D tier in my standards. Number 13, Blaster. At least this card stands out. If you put it in almost any corner at the right spot, this will net you 1 special point in 1 turn while discarding a card from your hand. A tier if you play this in most maps other than Double Gemini. Number 14, Range Blaster. Same thing as the Blaster, but with 1 space pixel added. I would pretty much prefer this over the regular Blaster for some maps, with cornering edges like Thunder Point, because of the placement itself, as it could be devastating in both beginning and mid-game, as well as putting it in 1 turn if you got it on your hand at the start or middle of the game. S tier because it's pops better. I'll just say it that way. It's really better. Number 15, Flash Blaster. Unlike the other 2 blasters I've covered, this one is okay if you play this on edge maps like Colon 1, Thunder Point, River Drift, or even X Marks the Garden. This can be a great card for farming and offense, but okay for most likely defense. A tier if you can just play this right. Number 16, Rapid Blaster. This card on the other hand is an okay card to use in offense and defense only in mid-game, and okay in the beginning as well. It could be worse in the last turn of the game, but B tier is good enough. Number 17, Rapid Blaster Pro. Unlike its other cousin, this card is better paired with Splattershot Jr. in terms of farming, and for defense placement wise, it's good to use in most likely square squared, as a good defense card, most likely to block a lot. B tier just like its original. Number 18, L3 Nozzlenose. I'm gonna make this short and brief, but to be honest, good farming card but not great for offense in mid-game. D tier, really not great. Number 19, H3 Nozzlenose. Hard to farm, but easy if it's on a wall, but still, it's almost better than the L3. So, give this one a C tier in my book. Number 20, Squeezer. This card is really kinda okay, but technically, it only does great on Double Gemini, and hey, at least it ain't worse than the others in D tier, since it could work halfway in mid-game as offense for later. Overall, in my standards, B tier. But if it's playing in other maps, with the exception of Main Street, then C tier instead. Take your pick. Number 21, Carbon Roller. Kinda sucks for farming, but it's an alright card to use for most likely offense. Not good on defense, other than the Splat Roller coming up next. So, naturally speaking, Carbon would really do pretty better in the beginning, to say the least, but only in good small maps, like Mini Square. C tier. Number 22, Splat Roller. This card is a balance of offense, defense, and support, since it can change the game so bad in most maps. Only problem, kinda sucks at Double Gemini, but great for all other maps. Overall A tier, since this gets better. Number 23, Dynamo Roller. Now the bigger they be, the better they are. I prefer to use it in offense in the middle, and most likely, this could be a game changer to say the least. Just like the Splat Roller, it's an alright card to use because of its number, which is 13. Even using it special. S tier and only good to play in mid-game with. Number 24, Flingza Roller. Not much good. It's usually better on maps like Thunder Point as a filler, but okay for farming if you have small numbered cards in your deck. C tier since it's average. Number 25, Ink Brush. It's a great card for diagonal maps, but okay for every other map. Not much good in defense-wise, but useful nonetheless. C tier because it's average. Number 26, Octo Brush. Same thing as the Ink Brush, but added an edge at the end of the square. Really better to corner for most diagonal cards, and really good diagonal card for blocking. B tier as usual. Number 27, Classic Squiffler. This charger can really make an impact when you play it on Main Street and Thunder Point, but it's pretty much the only card you'll possibly use to grind those wins. B tier. Number 28, Splattershot Jr. Now, this could be serious, as if the last card wasn't enough, then I don't know what else is. With 8 ink spaces, and just only 8 ink spaces, this card might be a better card for filling in lines or to sneak up on the other side of the map, and not to mention, it's really okay for most likely blocking in square, like all the others. A tier, which is actually kind of fine in my opinion. Number 29, Splatterscope. Well, just like its sibling, but with a tiny cross for asserting dominance, still the best card to use. A tier, because it isn't trash, and yes, it's similar to its original sibling, so take it or leave it. Number 30, E-Leader 4K. It's still fine nonetheless, pretty much better if you put it closer to the middle, but this card may lose fights in the same spot as others, but in reality, it was all along a plan to retaliate their base with a special attack to really ruin their chances of invading your base. A tier for better base attacking, and leading a path to other cards as well. Number 31, the E-Leader 4K Scope. Very large and same thing, but apparently having a different spot for the special ink space to place on. Kinda alright if you pair this with a card that can guarantee you a spot to fill in like Tensor Missiles when you pull this off. Yes, S tier for farming that one special point. Number 32, Bamboozler 14 Mark 1. Yes, it's fine on walls, but sucks against everything else. Unlike its predecessor in the Great Turf War long ago, it's a good card to curve and can beat cards that are higher than 10 or above, but still, I kinda don't like it. D tier in my own opinion, but I'm so sorry Bamboozler fans. F tier, just to be hated on. And yeah, if you main Bamboozler or like someone that is a Bamboozler fan or whatever in general that loves Bamboozler, yeah, let me tell you in the comments, you have my permission to spam me some hate for all of this. Yes, I deserve this one. Number 33, YouTuber. Oh my god, ew. No, you know what? I want to say this, it's not great. Farming specials can only be its best, just like the E-Leader 4K Scope, but to be honest though, if it were to attack or defend, it just sucks. Literally. It sucks to attack the enemy base, and it sucks to even defend from the enemy itself. Literal F tier, in my own opinion. But to keep in mind, F tier isn't a very bad card. Just say it's the second worst card that you would think of. Every time I actually do something that's F tier, then I'd say it is a second worst in almost any other category. But let's just move on at this point. Number 34, Slosher. Pretty good card, but however it just scratches the surface on a Tenta real shitty. Pair this with a torpedo card and your history. B tier just to say the least. Number 35, Try Slosher. Same as the Slosher, but they removed that one pixel right there. This one doesn't need a torpedo to use, but still, why not go for it with most maps with curves and such? And heck, it even does super well when it has its exact shape all over the place. Well, almost all over the place. It's B tier like a Slosher. Number 36, Sloshing Machine. It's almost by far a great card to use since its specialty is in the box seats map, but yeah, pair this with Small Fry or a Splat Bomb card and you're golden. A tier as it goes.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was so funny.
Number 37, Lobber. An okay average card as long as you can put it in your wall or something. However, it's a great card to use against the mid and front lines and such. B tier to be average. Number 38, Explosion. This card may be intimidating at the start, but it's really good in mid-game, if you want more ink to cover. Just don't use its special attack on the last 3 turns. Too risky as fuck, because apparently it's big enough that most of the special spaces can block you easily, giving you a chance to fuck all that up. So, overall, in combat-wise, A tier. Number 39, Mini Splatling. Pretty long to use, but still never realized its full potential to be viable in the middle of almost any map. One of the mid-game cards to use, and it's alright. C tier to keep it short. Number 40, Heavy Splatling. This one's pretty alright. I mean, it's really better than a mini Splatling when it comes to diagonal spots like Double Gemini. Using its special attack kinda sucks to say the least. But hey, at the end of the day, it's really good. B tier, since it's really pretty better. Number 41, Hydra Splatling. This big ass mofo is what you call really awesome. It can tank some attacks in the middle and does great in the base attack to save, but there's only one major problem. The special attack is the same amount as the heavy Splatling, as it only takes 4 special points. Overall, if you happen to have at least 4 special points in the mid-game, go ahead and use its special attack almost instantly. B tier for big boy, and I mean real big. Number 42, Ballpoint Splatling. Ballpoint is an alright 10-point card since it can be pretty good, just like Heavy Splatling. Farming special points with this card is like everyone else. Put it on the wall and boom. Just make sure that you use it for both midline and front lines. Backlining with this can be worth it too, so give it a shot. A tier. Number 43, Nautilus 47. Similar to the mini Splatling, this one is barely better. Using its special can really save you room to ink with your small cards, if you can have it in mid-game. B tier for only mid-game such. Number 44, Dapple Doolies. Now this card is amazing in almost every corner, and a great card to farm special points with. Out of all the Doolies, this card stands out above the rest. S tier, and it's fantastic. Oh, and by the way, pair this with a Tentatek card, and you're really gonna get 2 special points, as long as that Dapple Doolies is in the corner, or in a wall, to say the least. Number 45, Splat Doolies. A basic yet average card that is good at farming and fighting mid-line. Pair this with either Marigold, Small Fire, or Splat Bomb card, and you're on your way to farming special points very easily. A tier, which is acceptable. Number 46, Galuga Doolies. It's still viable, but nonetheless, kinda sucks to grind since you're just scrambling to find a corner and just use it on there. But if you get this on your last turn, then I feel so bad for you on that one. D tier since it's not great to think about it. Number 47, Dually Squelchers. Now this is a perfect mid-game card to use, but to keep it clear, it's hard to farm since only one spot is needed to farm that one special point. But at least it pairs great with any card that has a longer line, such as any Splatana card or Mini Splatling. Just give it the B tier look, it'll be fine either way. Number 48, Dark Detector Dualies. Only great at Double Gemini and Thunder Point, but paired with the Sprinkler card, it at least makes up for it in almost all the maps. It's alright in A tier for pairing with a Sprinkler, and it also works with a Tentatek card as well, so take your pick. Number 49, Splatbrella. Still okay for frontlining and okay to pair with Tetradualies and Tentabrella, but most likely to find those special points over fighting unless you can use it to block your opponent's path towards your base. So in my advice, pick this one up if you're willing to block only. C tier. Number 50, Tentabrella. Let me just say it just really sucks, and not to mention, it just really stinks to use its special attack, since 1, it takes 5 special points to consume, and 2, most cards can place better on the board easier than this piece of shit. And number 3, whenever it's cornered a lot with most of the enemy's special points, yeah, just throw this card away and take the loss on that one. Let the opponents have the dub if you have this card. Just a little F tier, because of how its special attack sucks! Number 51, Undercover Brother. This card does way better than Tenta, but sucks at defending as it prefers to be good only in Double Gemini for its diagonal placing. C tier. Number 52, Tri-Stringer. This card is a way better card to farm specials. If you have it on your first turn, place it on a wall and make sure it has space, because really, it's viable to say the least. For this card, just give it A tier. Number 53, Reflux 450. Now pairing this with Tri-Stringer lets you have 2 special points as they both fit very perfectly, as it is so on your first 2 turns if you can pull it off. You'll have 2 specials ready so long as you place Tri-Stringer first and defend it. If you can't go through that, it's fine. Any diagonal card will take its place. On the other hand, without pairing it, it's still a good card in some small places to put in. Same as Tri-Stringer, A tier. Number 54, Splatana Stamper. Same as the Wiper, but only added 1 more point. It's also more longer than Mario's Forward Aerial. Okay. All jokes aside, this card may be my best favorite as long as it can play defense and far more easily right next to a Splatana Wiper. If you want a balanced deck that's viable to add, then this one's for you. S tier and amazing to be totally viable in the game. Number 55, Splatana Wiper. As the Pentress appearance applies, this card is the most viable to use in almost any map whatsoever. Best use it if you're wanting to draw the single line in the middle. It's also perfect if you want to play it safe, and fits in most other small places to put it. S tier and really good.